I believe people want three things. Really deep in their heart, they want three things. They want to be their own boss. They want to be their own boss. Number two, they want to work at something they love, something they believe in, something they're passionate about. And number three, they want to build total financial independence for them and their families, where nobody can put their thumb on you and squeeze you and use you, where you can tell everybody out there to take a flying leap if you want to. And A.L. Williams provided for its people those three things. February 10, 1977, A.L. Williams was born, just a peanut. 85 people in one city and one state. The enemy was 200. See, folks, I really believe the first step to winning is you got to have impossible goals, big goals. Hey, listen to these goals we had at A.L. Williams, where we were just a peanut, 85 of us in one city, one state, fighting the largest, most powerful industry in the world. Our number one goal was to change the largest industry in the world and destroy cash value life insurance. That's impossible. Can you imagine a little peanut, 85 people, just like this first two rows right here, talking about changing the largest, most powerful industry in the world? Number two, we wanted to become number one. There were 2,000 companies in that industry, and we wanted to beat Prudential. 40,000 agents versus our 85. 1977 we were born. They were born in 1864. It's just like if I were some of you right now. I mean, if I had to target a company I'd like to really go after right now that reminds me of Prudential, is Starbucks. You know, they're the most overpriced, overbloated pile of crap, I think, out there in their business. Number three, our goal was to see our families become financially independent. Now, folks, can you imagine? I started off making $4,600 a year. My last year, 7th year in coaching football in Georgia, I was paid $10,700 as head coach and athletic director. Can you imagine how impossible that goal seemed to me, to become financially independent, to change my family financial future for generations? Folks, when we founded A.L. Williams in 1977, I told every new recruit in our company for 2 years. I spoke at every meeting like this for 2 years in A.L. Williams. And I said, I want you to know, if you're going to join A.L. Williams, I want you to understand up front going in this thing that the odds are like this of us surviving. I'm not talking about beating Prudential. I'm not talking about changing an industry. I'm not talking about becoming financially independent. I'm talking about the odds are like this of us surviving. But if you ask me, said, Art, be honest with me. Tell me how you really feel. I got to tell you, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it in here. I think we're going to do it. And I think it's going to be big. You know, being somebody is seizing the moment. Winston Churchill said it best. He said there comes a special moment in everyone's life, a moment for which that person was born. That special opportunity, when he seizes it, will fulfill his mission, a mission for which he is uniquely qualified. In that moment, he finds greatness. It is his finest hour. See, folks, you got to set impossible goals. You got to set impossible goals. You got to dream big. You got to go out there and do impossible things. Bob Turley died a few years ago. He had built an army of 16,000 people in 36 states and Canada. He had a payroll of $145 million a year, $1.4 billion over 10 years, and he left that to his son. He changed his family for generations. Bob Safford, another great leader in A.L. Williams, had an army of 19,000 people, operated in 38 states plus Canada, had an annual cash flow of $110 million, 10 years, $1.1 billion, and left that to his two sons. And we had dozens more examples like that. See, I believe to win in the free enterprise system, folks, you got to do two things. Number one, you got to have an edge. You got to have an edge. You got to have something that you're better than other people that you're competing against are. You got to have a better product at a better price and a better delivery system. Now, how do you get that edge? You get that edge by studying the competition. Like if I was going after Starbucks, I know everything about them. I know them from A to Z. And I guarantee you, if you go look at a company like Starbucks that's got over 3,000 coffee craft places, you know, and that kind of stuff, you can find all kind of things that they're overbloated on. They got fat and lazy and sorry, right? But you got to take this stuff serious to get an edge. You got to look at the competition and you got to analyze them and study. I studied Prudential. I studied New York Life. I studied Metropolitan like you can't believe, and I found out their weakness. Folks, I believe you can overcome every problem in business. You can overcome financial problems, sales problems, health problems, business problems, recruiting problems, personal problems. You can overcome everything and still be all you want to be in business. But you can't ever overcome an attitude problem. The moment you give up on you, you're dead as a doornail. Now, if you get this positive attitude, you can't walk around like a dead bud. You've got to show it. You got to walk faster. You got to talk faster. You got to show your excitement about what you are doing. See, I believe 90+% of winning is always being excited. Stamp this in your brain. People won't follow or believe in a negative, dull, disillusioned, frustrated, dadgum crybaby. The greatest definition of a winner I ever heard. This person said almost everybody can stay excited for 2 or 3 months. A few people can stay excited for 2 or 3 years, but a winner stay excited forever. People want to follow a leader that's positive, that's aggressive, that's enthusiastic, that's tough.
The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times. So, and I'm sure you guys all have your processes. And again, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me. Match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I just remind myself, all right, I was evicted when I was 14. We were kicked off the island. We couldn't live in Hawaii. Had no place to live. A lot of shit happened then when I moved to Nashville. I was arrested multiple times by the time I was 16 years old. I gotta remember that, because there goes my opportunity. He went in, switched to defensive tackle, lit the world on fire. Well, what that did, it crushed me, it crushed my dreams. I had a piss poor senior year, 0 production, no NFL, no combine invite, nothing. Finally went to the CFL, Calgary Stampeders, making $250 a week Canadian. I had to send that shit home to my wife at that time. Had no money. So I remember that. When I got cut from Canada, I had $7 in my pocket. And I always tell that story. So now my production company is $7, advertising agency is $7, everything is $7. So I always remember that. What helps me is to keep the hard times in the front of my mind, because it allows me to go into these big moments that I've worked my ass off, and you guys have worked your ass off. It allows me to go into these big moments with a different perspective. What it also does for me, and again, this is what works for me. Like, I keep my back, excuse my language, my back is up against this motherfucker. Every day, it's against this fucking wall. Excuse my language, ladies in the room. But it's up against this motherfucker because it's what I believe in. And when my back is against this motherfucker, then there's nowhere to go. But that way. That's it. So I feel like this could be something, an ideology and mindset that could help you, if you look at it that way. Because you made it already. We made it. We're successful boys, and we're lucky boys to be where we're at. Well, you guys made it. Everybody's rich in the room. Nobody's gonna get evicted anymore. Anything you got, there's no more money problems, right? You got a lot of hands out now. Hey, can I get a little bit? Can I get a little bit? Right, that happens. But when you make it, for me, I need this. I need this. So every day, my back is up against this motherfucker, and this is how I operate. Now, doesn't mean you don't smile, doesn't mean you don't laugh and joke, right? You're happy, I'm a happy guy. But when it comes to business, and when it comes to executing, it's up against this. And I gotta go that way. And I don't give a fuck who is in front of me. They're not gonna stop me.
It's to blow up. It was crazy for me. I was kind of like, man, I'm really not happy, because now you getting all the calls, all the TV shows, you getting, we just got off the phone with, I don't know how to say what they are, but they like do films. They like, you want to turn it into a movie, news people call them, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to get on the news. Like, I don't want to be on no TV show. Like, I don't want to be on a different show. Like, I'm actually trying to get out the game. I'm trying to retire. So I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, I see why people do it. Everybody calling you now. Everybody wants you on their show. I don't want to be on nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested. Yeah. But the part that I love is all the attention we getting. Now I was able to call the warden in New York, and he like, hey, we ready to get this. We got 20,000 kids. Right. We ready for you to get the book in here. We ready for you to come in here. Somebody in Michigan called me, New York. Like, yo, Boston, I talked to a dude. He like, let me read it. Let me get the clearance. And as soon as we can get the clearance, we're going to have you in here. So for me, I'm geeked because I'm like, yo, the energy I was trying to put on a Nobel Prize that I wasn't necessarily getting, I'm getting that energy now where people are like, yo, I ain't going to have no problem with the war.